Dakar 2 veut s'inscrire résolument dans la dynamique de l'Afrique des solutions. Une Afrique donc qui puise dans son énorme potentiel pour se nourrir par elle-même et aider à nourrir le monde.
The prices of food items in Africa have gone through the roofs. And how did it come about? We have imported inflation. The effect of globalization has affected the supply chains. All the supply chains have been negatively affected. And most of the food items that were being imported into Africa, so the poor in Africa, most African countries have been hit so hard by this inflation. And then locally, because of what has happened to the world, we are facing these high increases in fuel prices, and that has cascaded into the prices of food items that we have in this country. So we have these challenges facing Africa, most African countries. Let me put this in summary, saying that Africa is at the crossroads right now. And from all indications from yesterday to today, we have had the impression that there's that high commitment from a lot of our leaders. And once that commitment is there, I think we can improve the food situation in Africa through effective production. And by doing that, restoring the supply chains around the world, I am sure we are going to get out of this in no time, so that poverty levels that are so high in a lot of African countries will be reduced considerably. Thank you so much for your attention.
It's been a privilege to be present at what I believe is a meeting that has the capacity to have an enormous response, not just for the needs of Africa, but for the needs of humanity at this time. Yes, we are addressing a malfunction in global food security, but far more importantly, we are addressing the future of Africa and its people. And let us not just dream, but decide to act together to make this century Africa's century, a continent with 60% of the world's arable land, which can not only feed its growing population, but become a net exporter of sustainable food to the world.
To change farming is not going to happen in the conferences. To revolutionize agriculture is going to happen on the ground, on the farms. If we want for Africa to develop, we have to address the food issues that we have. We have to produce what we eat and eat what we produce. Not only will feed our people, but we'll create jobs and give dignity to our people.
It came from around the world. African heads of state and government gathered in such large numbers, 34 African heads of state and government in total, to show their determination to feed Africa. What matters now is implementation, results, and impact at scale to boost food production and feed Africa with set targets and timelines. Now, with our hands together and in locksteps, we will reach our destination. An Africa that finally feeds itself. An Africa that develops with pride.